Season's greetings and welcome to Two Balls and a Mic, episode 166. We had a San Diego-packed sports weekend. A lot of victories. Finally, the San Diego Padres win. They're not going to start there, but we're going to start with San Diego Wave. San Diego Wave and the San Diego Sockers and the San Diego Loyal. And not San Diego Loyal, they accumulated points. San Diego State University is currently getting their ass handed to in the national championship. Hopefully things turn around. We'll keep a third eye over to that, but we'll talk about San Diego Wave's tie against Phoenix in the home opener. We're also going to go ahead and talk about San Diego Wave's home match, where they impressively won another game and are really poising themselves as top tier in the NWSL. We're going to first also talk about San Diego Sockers. San Diego Sockers into the playoffs. We did some commentary. We're going to go ahead and play some of that for you in Spanish. And what else, Chiva?
Well, we're going to have Alan joining us in about 20 minutes. So before we get started with Two Balls, Underwood, you had a big weekend.
I am a truck guy.
You guys know when Tony does those sound effects and he said,
Welcome
to the used car tent sale.
Hold on.
He fell for that.
Giant used car tent sale at Qualcomm Stadium. Cars, trucks, SUVs must be sold.
Wait, was your car pre-owned or new?
It was salvaged
Oh, shit.
and pre-owned. Yeah, bro.
Okay. Insurance is a lot then.
Well, it's free for the first month.
Oh, dope. New truck, how do you feel?
You put that one, boys. I put that one. Oh, it's all good, boys. Yeah.
This guy always blames me for everything first, even though then he realizes it's his fault. But anyways, how do you like your new truck? It's a new toy. It's an investment. It's the car they're gonna have for the rest of your life. Expensive.
Expensivo.
¿Cuánto? Nah, tell everyone.
I mean, you can look at the MSRP. The MSRP
Hey.
of the truck is $38,000. So I mean, you can do the
Ooh,
math.
You got money.
It was. What does that even mean? What? No. Cállate.
He's got money.
Cállese, güey. But yeah.
Well, how do you like it? Better than all the other cars you've ever had?
My favorite car that I actually ever had was probably red Hyundai Elantra 2001. That car was leather seats. It was also salvaged. It was built together, had very little miles. That car drove me and my entire family of 5 from here, Tijuana, all the way to Guadalajara and back in the summer with no AC and leather seats through the Sonora Desert. So you figure that one out. And we lived some crazy adventures. Then it was passed down to me.
Sticky two-ball.
I zipped in that, and I zip, sold it to some of one of my dad's friends in TJ for like $600. And then I had a Nissan Sentra, also stick shift.
That's a nice one.
But I mean, it's a departure. People who know me are shocked, surprised, and really concerned for me that I bought a truck.
Yes.
Like legitimately, like, are you okay? What is going on? There it is.
Oh, dude, that's a nice jacket.
You saw. I mean, you talked with my girl, and you're like, everybody was also shocked that I posted something.
Yeah, your white jacket, bro.
Oh, yeah, bro. Like,
so
it's a brand new white jacket. This just happens to be a new truck behind
they're
it.
Sick.
Look at
They're
that.
sick jacket. And I told your girlfriend, Tony would really like the jacket because he posted a picture of it on Instagram.
Damn right. Look at that,
Fuck the truck. It's all about the jacket.
bro. That jacket got me that truck at that price.
I bet.
I mean, sir, I've been working at this establishment for a consistent 9 years. Here are some tips if you ever go to a dealership. Take me one, I'll lower that price for you. What do you mean? It's already installed? We'll take it off. I'll wait. No, sir, but the alarm is like integrated into the exoskeleton of these brand new Toyotas. Well, madre, take it off. Like, I don't need it. It's gonna take off $5,000, right? Okay, we'll just give it to you. Okay, that's fine. Now, this radar system, like, I'm already being tracked, right? Well, yeah, but you got to activate it. So to know that I don't have it active, you still have it track me. So you're tracking me anyways. So take that shit off. I don't need it. Like, I don't want to be tracked. Oh, well, it's a safety feature, blah, blah, blah. All right, then I'm not asking you for it. I'm going to walk out of here with a truck, either from here or from Ford or from this. I'll just go to Toyota in Chula Vista. Oh no, the guy was also named Tony, so that helped.
Okay.
Shout out Tony. I need to do his customer service review. Excellent. Check out Tony over at Dalton Toyota in National City. Yes, National City. I you can just tell me. I can just mute you.
Okay.
But it's the end of the month. They always need to get rid of inventory at the end of the month. Make those sales. Make that push. If you really wanna get yourself a good deal, do it at the end of the month during like a holiday, because you'll have the
Giant Memorial Day holiday sale.
on top of it being the end of the month. They need to get rid of those trucks.
Yeah.
They need to get rid of those cars. I had a little salvage car, a little Kia with 100,000 miles, 2013, which is a really good. This is just turned into car talk at this point.
It's this week in two balls.
This is what this segment is. This.
The first 30
This
minutes.
week in Two Balls.
I've used that a little bit too much in this
I've
opening.
used this segment name last
Yeah, no,
episode
100%. Yeah, no, I did. It's a little thread. I like it. I like the effort, boy. We're also going to talk about San Diego Loyal over at Albion in this weekend, and this weekday on a Wednesday, tomorrow, after tomorrow. If everything goes right. By the way, let me see who would care if we reveal this right now that is actually going to care. All right, sure. Like you guys win.
What? You guys win.
Next San Diego Football Weekly we should be having Jack Metcalf coming into studio and sitting here.
Should be. It's fine though. I'll have it over.
So that's something that it's fine.
That'd be cool.
I don't know
Hopefully
if
he's able to make
I don't
it.
know if 2 balls and a mic makes it for 2 balls and a mic. It does not qualify for YouTube Kids. Because Alicia says Cole has an account.
I don't think it does. But
Esteban says congratulations on the truck. Thank you. Appreciate that.
But yeah, it'd be cool. Hopefully Metcalf is able to make it
Yeah, so that'll be
for the next San
fun.
next episode of San Diego Football Weekly.
Yeah, so check that out. If not,
Be a
we'll
good talk. You know, he's got his players that playing here in San Diego, everything he's been up to.
Why did you defend Andrew Carlton, sir?
Oof, I hope he doesn't.
And I hope he gets his.
And then he's like,
gets
"Well, they're
his
gonna ask
side.
me tomorrow."
Yeah, no, I mean, if he sees it, that's fine. He's prepared. He's
¿Cómo va
coming.
San Diego State? A ver.
San Diego State is
San Diego
currently.
State.
Let's
Fine.
have a little looky-loo here and.
By 9.
Okay,
That's not bad.
All right, we're
That's not bad.
we're
They were
in
down by
there.
12.
I can't watch it. Like it's
Yeah,
fine.
no, I can't watch. I
no,
can't either.
It's not part of the.
Exactly.
It's not part of it. We're also going to be doing a 2 balls and a mic giveaway very soon. San Diego Loyal, hopefully San Diego Wave 2, some jerseys, some swag, some merchandise.
I went to a Padres game.
Check that out. You went to a Padres game.
And got on.
Oh, they won, boy. Yeah,
Won.
Padres are now 500. Yeah, thanks to you, boy.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
thanks to me. It was
You are
nice.
the best.
It was nice. We should go to games soon.
Games, plural.
Game.
Game, singular.
Yeah, hit up Craig. Hey, Craig. Whenever you want.
So, I mean, talking about Craig Elston, the powerful Craig Elston, we were doing commentary this weekend in Spanish, the final, what used to be, and I called it because, again, we don't get nobody clued me in. But I was calling it the last final home regular season matchup
And
at
then our
Pachanga
boy,
Arena.
our boy over at Everything San Diego.
Johnny breaking the news. Shout out to Johnny.
Johnny.
Nope. You know, he's paying attention all ears. He's everywhere.
I gave him props. I was like, props, you're here. Not when he said Abe was at Wave. So I was like, dude, it's the perk of having 2 people working together.
Exactly. So shout out
I
to
told him, we're just
Everything San Diego.
unfortunate, like we had to
We're
be here,
employed
both of us.
by the San Diego Sockers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so going into it, there was a couple situations where the San Diego Sockers are already winning. They already got everything. And now it's just a matter of like being strategic with how you play. You still want to play to win. But if Tacoma, the opponents this time, won, they had a chance to sneak into the playoffs, which they did eventually. But they needed to get some points out of this one. And they did. Like they took it to overtime. And if you go take it to overtime
You get a
regular
point.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a point for that. So that's interesting rules from there. So Tacoma started winning at the beginning. We were like, oh my God, there's a lot of time. And then we had this call right here from yours truly and the boy Chiva over here.
No nomás es el único con el bigotón. Ya ve, hace rato también vi a el buen Boris Pardo que también tiene su bigote. Aquí viene un tiro y gol.
Little Rojo was on fire this past game. Hat trick. You're as a defender and you get a hat trick.
Yeah, so I mean,
Freaking sick, dude.
that's Juan Manuel Rojo, number 2, Big Rojo over on
Little
the
Rojo.
Little Rojo, sorry. over on the left-hand side and then just lasering it in. That's a golazo wherever you see it, wherever you go. Oh, the boy. Adding color. Wow, look at that. Nothing that Danny Waltman could have done there. Juan Manuel Rojo ended up getting a hat trick. They went back and forth, San Diego and Tacoma. Again, you'll get a lot more in-game breakdown, but it's kind of like our little thing. Like, look, we haven't mentioned it in a while.
2 balls.
We're our journey towards,
We're gonna end up
the World Cup.
game.
Yeah, like it's the journey towards the World Cup. So
Exactly.
um,
I'm thinking if they make a movie of us, like this is like towards like a quarter into the movie,
yeah.
and it's like, oh man, look at them, they're doing commentary for the MASL. It's like, oh shit, like they're doing this now, they're doing this.
Who plays you in the movie? Who plays Chiva in the movie?
Who plays you?
me in the movie? I play me in the movie.
No.
No,
Like Cero Pedo.
Cero Pedo,
Who plays you?
I would play me in the movie. Like they can find like some regular schmo to, just build this personality on screen. Good luck. That was mean.
Yeah, that was very.
That was very mean.
Because I feel like anyone can play me.
But
it has to be someone that can speak Spanish too. And now I would say Jonah Hill.
Jonah Hill can play you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very.
Who would play you though?
So who plays Fat You?
Jonah.
Just Jonah Hill in a fat suit?
Yeah. No, that guy loses weight like within a month, dude.
Remember that Call of Duty commercial he did? He was jacked. He was like not gordito at all whatsoever. Shout out to Call of Duty.
But yeah, so they ended up going to overtime and ended up winning it.
Well, before that, we have
Before
the
that.
second goal.
Oh,
Look at the
okay.
time, boy. Come on now.
San Diego,
Uh-huh.
no le dicen Warrior por nada, el buen Guerrero Pino.
Boom.
El tiro. Gol.
That one was a little.
El Colorado. El Rojo.
Colorado meaning red?
Colorado Rojo, el rojo. El
Número dos,
rojizo.
otro
Juanma.
riflazo fuera del área.
Yeah, you say Juanma a lot. Juanma.
Otro golazo en este encuentro para Juan Manuel
Rojo. Gotta roll those R's. That's a great shot.
Craig Charles, pero ya Tacoma, si le das espacio a Rojo, te va a lastimar y te va a vacunar con un golazo.
Yeah, so that was cool. Te va a vacunar, promoting vaccinations. All right, well, okay.
La vacuna.
All right, looks like you're pinching something.
Yeah, like.
But now, as you were saying, they went to overtime here before we welcome the great Alan Underwood for 2 balls Underwood for some good San Diego Loyal talk, followed by some San Diego Wave talk. Fantastic San Diego
and
Wave.
some Albion. I mean, are you a fan of Albion?
Fuck. They snuck through.
Huh?
They snuck through.
Yeah.
They did it. Albion penetrated 2 balls. All right, they managed to.
Here you go,
squeeze
Hector. We're gonna talk about Albion finally.
Arenaldo Gomez. No kinds. But yeah, so then they went to overtime, as you were saying.
See. I was saying. See. Oh, you want me to talk now? Okay.
Fuck. Okay.
Yeah, so they go to overtime, and we were saying it could either be all 10 minutes or it could literally end in 2 minutes, and it took about 2 minutes.
Yeah,
for
it's
them to
golden
score.
goal.
So you like golden goal?
I like golden
Big
goal. I
fan
miss
of
golden
golden
goal.
But again, Little Rojo just
Afición.
taking it into his own hands
El
and
Rojo.
winning it.
Toquen a mi pollo.
Yeah, it kept messing up Pollo Ruiz.
Sí, mi pollito.
Conseguir una tarjeta.
Pío.
Good pass, good vision here by Boris, who was already sat out for the game. Xavier came in. And then Rojo gets it behind this halfway line. Look at this. Classic Rojo.
Encara Messi.
Le gusta a Rojo. Rojo. Gol.
That was good. Rojo!
Yeah, that was really good.
Hey, congrats on the truck.
Who said that?
Me.
Oh, thank you. And Esteban. Shout out, Esteban. Esteban, who I see with the boy Brandon on Instagram, just being really good goalkeepers. Like, I never had the flexibility that they have.
Yeah, they're better than you at goalkeeping. You should go do a video with them.
Yeah, I should.
You really should.
Yeah, I really
Hey,
should.
Esteban, like hit up the boy Tony. Make
Yeah.
a video. Get him
Yeah.
out of retirement again for like the fifth time in 3-4 years.
Dance.
Tony Sanchez comes out of retirement again. Oh man.
I only do it for special occasions now, and it has to be really special.
¿Cómo va SDSU?
SDSU. All right, let's type in and we are down by 10. All right. Okay. All right. Just keep it here at 2 balls at the mic, so you'll get
No, aquí no se agüitan.
you'll get
Vamos.
updates from the game, I guess. All right, let's really quick do this. But yeah, so then now San Diego, the San Diego Sockers are going into the playoffs. Check the San Diego Sockers website for information on time and dates of
I
those
know the time
playoff
and
games.
dates.
Oh, you know the time and date? What's that, boy?
So, if Tacoma wins,
Okay, let you go. Well, I thought you meant you knew, but not. Oh, if this happened. Okay, keep
oh,
going.
it's because it's if
Yes.
So
yes.
if Mesquite wins,
See.
they'll play on Sunday.
Sunday. Yeah.
Ideally, they want to play on Tuesday. Craig told me that they would prefer Tuesday. They could still most likely play on Sunday and give up what's it called, home advantage to play on Sunday or something. But yeah, essentially, if Mesquite wins, they
Hope
play
we're not
Sunday
revealing
at 5
anything.
p.m.
we shouldn't. Yeah.
But you know, like we'll see what happens. Do
Yeah.
you prefer to play? Do you
I mean,
commentary on
do I prefer to play on
or-
Sunday or on Tuesday? Well, I mean, I have a lot going on Tuesday. Sometimes I got Sunday Football Weekly.
Yeah.
I got a couple of other things, but
Sundays works for me. Come on, soccer, make it on Sunday.
what do we got here? It was WrestleMania. We'll get
It
into some
was. You got-
WrestleMania
you
talk at the end. Well, if
Oh,
you want if you want my WrestleMania takes, you stay here until the end. If you know somebody who wants to talk WrestleMania, you tell them to tune in here because San Diego State will most likely have a game that's over, hopefully with a greatest comeback in history.
Hopefully.
Oh shit! Esteban says, "Yeah, let's do it." Fuck.
Ooh.
Fuck. All right, I'm down. Papi
Aztecs
Chavo
dead
says-
in the water.
Well, you know what? They were very good agricultural peoples, the Aztecs, and they actually managed to do floating gardens. So we know how to thrive under the pressure and underwater.
Hey, you're an Aztec.
That is offensive. Watch your mouth.
Like you go to.
You can't just go up to people and say, "Look,
You're an Aztec.
you're an Aztec." You can't do that. They almost changed the mascot. That would have been dumb. But yeah. So I think the boy is in already.
Is he?
So he
Oh, he
is
is the
in.
boy.
He is
Let
in.
him in. Let
Him in. Let me in now.
Oh.
I don't
Who
think
did-
he was
who did-
expecting this.
Who did?
I think
Alan?
hold on. We don't ruin the thing because they haven't seen him. They need to be able to see him. Oh my
Perdóname.
god. Oh my god. ¿Cómo te llamas, güey? There you are. What's your name, bro? All right. Alan is here. Alan Underwood. Season's greetings, Alan. ¿Cómo
Sube-
estás,
sube el
Alan?
volumen, güey.
Season's greetings.
Season's greetings.
I don't know if you've noticed, Alan, but I've said season's greetings as the first thing as we welcome everybody to a new episode of Two Balls at a Mic
Yeah, for like 3 years.
for like
already.
3 years. That's something that I've been saying.
Man, you know what?
It's-
Alan used to
it's-
not watch Two Balls in the Mic. You know, he was too busy working on something else.
What was he working on?
Oh,
I don't know
But
Alan
the
from
weather outside.
I don't know
is
Alan
like-
from anything other than
Two balls
Two
in
Balls
the
at a
mic.
Mic.
Yeah,
I met
that's
him on
true,
Two
that's
Balls
true,
at
that's
a Mic.
Remember when Alan said, "Yeah, your logo sucks. It's a piece of shit."
Yeah, I mean,
Wow, very offended. And then look at you.
look what you've created.
Look,
This
hey
is you.
guys, you guys should let me know join your podcast.
Wow.
kidding.
Crawling on back.
Wow.
Crawling on back.
It's like that new logo is pretty dope, guys.
Fairweather does not deserve this. It was an absolutely fantastic podcast. I listened to every episode. Let's just clear that out.
Yeah, you did.
Alan, Darth Allen, or Gryffindor Allen.
That was my City Heights sweater, man.
City Heights.
City Heights. You know, I don't know
I'm gonna
anything
bring a
about City
part of
Heights.
home with me when I come up here.
Yep, because you are up north once again. And I mean,
Woo!
Are
Sorry.
you
as a car? Just amazing catch. Sorry,
watching?
my bad.
Are
Yeah,
you,
the game's on right here.
So you're watching SDSU right now?
No, I'm watching Padres.
Okay.
I gave up on SDSU at halftime. I was
Oh.
like, they're not coming back.
I gave up
It's
on
not
SDSU
happening.
my second year.
UConn just looked too good. Like they're just like San Diego State was trying to guard them like they normally do, and they
Mhm.
were just like popping off shots that you're like, what are you gonna do? Like you're guarding them well. You're playing good defense. They're just really freaking good. That game's not getting close.
It's nice.
No, so I put on the Padres game because I'm a T-Mobile person and I get free MLB TV. And since I'm in Riverside, it's not blacked out up here, which is great.
Wow. The only positive thing
About living in Riverside.
is that you get to watch non-blacked out Padre games. What a thrill of a life, sir.
Amazing.
All right, let's get
yeah.
I mean, what else
Let's
is
get
there?
into it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, so let's get to the nitty gritty of it. You're giving me the pose, Chiva. Do you recognize this pose, Alan?
Oh, that's the
look
guy
at
who
that.
scored that's the guy who scored the offside goal for his brace against San Diego. Is that? Oh, it's Collier. It's the same celebration as the guy from Phoenix.
Yeah,
Maybe he saw the
scored
picture.
2 goals.
the yes,
like,
the same type of pose. But all right. So welcome to Xavier's Academy for the Extraordinarily Gifted People. This is what that font reminds me of, honestly, like the next iteration of X-Men. But yeah, so this is the lineup for this weekend against Phoenix Rising, the series as it was called on socials, that San Diego Loyal won, tying this game 2-2 with a lineup that's a little familiar. You have some names that are on there, some names that haven't had a lot of playing time together. But going into this match, Alan, I mean, I think, we all kind of knew that it was going to be a tight affair, that, it was a home opener. It was going to be difficult. Did anything kind of sway you one way or another? Or once the game happened, it kind of unfolded like you thought it would?
I mean, I honestly thought Phoenix would come out more aggressive than they did. I thought San Diego had the game in their what they wanted to do for the first 15-20 minutes in the match. I thought Phoenix would come out using that impressive crowd to back them and really put San Diego under pressure. But it was really San Diego that was on the front foot. They were getting turnovers. They were getting really nice possession in their final third. And, I think San Diego's probably unfortunate that they didn't get an early goal, because I think that changes the complexion of the match. But ultimately, I'm going to say some nice things about Phoenix. I think it's great to see them back actually in Phoenix as opposed to Chandler. I think it's a better location. I'm sure the San Diego traveling fans found it incredibly easy to get in and out of, as opposed to getting to Chandler. You fly into Phoenix and it's right there. It's nice to see them back in downtown. It's nice to see them with a big crowd again, because I think anytime you can travel, or anytime you see it on TV where there's 8, 9, 10,000 people creating an atmosphere, it's more fun to watch, and it's more fun to score 2 unanswered goals to spoil their opener as well. I think for both away fans and home fans, I thought it was a particularly fun night. But yeah, I thought I was actually pretty impressed with the way San Diego approached the first half of the game, and I think Phoenix gave them a little bit too much respect. I thought they sat back a little bit, allowed San Diego to have possession, because what was happening in the first game was Phoenix was pressing and then San Diego was counter punching. And Phoenix decided they didn't want to play that game this time and kind of gave the ball up to San Diego.
It was a matchup where you have the momentum in a way swaying one way, with San Diego having the upper hand, because again, you win big at home, you expect a team to be away that's just as strong, something that I don't think we've been able to see from San Diego Loyal, and the one performance that they have over in Sacramento, right? So some questions were asked at that point, and it can be blown out of proportion. It can be an overreaction, much like it can be an overreaction for this match in a couple ways. But I do think that there are some some things that are kind of being shown and being preyed upon by other teams, even early on this season, where it's going to be interesting to see how Nate and the team adjust. Obviously, again, you have Ebby going down. That's not going to be a positive for anything, really. But overall, you have a lineup that, I don't know what you thought about what was put on by Coach Nate on the field, Chiva or Alan.
I just thought it was interesting because you essentially don't start Evan Conway, who has been your starting striker the past 3 games, and you give Ronaldo the chance to get the start, and I didn't think it was a bad performance on his part. At the end of the day, he ended up getting the tying goal, right? But we see the 3 center mid line again: Corona, Guido, and Colin Martin, and I think we can agree against Sacramento it wasn't. It's gonna take them a while to kind of get used to their style. I did think it was a little better this time around. I wasn't a big fan of Blake Bodley this game, especially when it comes to the defensive end. I think he's a better attacking option than Elijah Martin, but so it's going to be a matter if you want to defend more in this game, then you maybe want to start Elijah. If you want to, as a left wing back right now, as a center back, or you want to be more attacking, then you can start Bodley. I thought Nick Moon had a really good game. Koke with a few mistakes, but still showing that he's still top quality. But I don't know, Alan. I don't know if there's anything that you specifically liked about this lineup.
It was an interesting one to start with, like kind of looking at their positioning. You had like a very clear 3-back. The wing backs played not as high up as I thought they might. And then you had Colin Martin like dropping deep, and then Corona was actually pushing up further, actually acting more like a more offensive midfielder behind your 2 strikers up top. I thought that gave Joe a little bit more of a role to play, right? Like I think that was the issue, is he was trying to play too far back last match. He didn't have quite that same presence up top. So like Colin Martin was able to drop into that 6 role that he plays so well. And Joe Corona was able to get further forward, kind of matching with Guido and those 2 guys. Some concerns with Guido, like he looked like maybe he was like sick. Like he was like really, really, really pressing forward, really energetic. And then there was that moment where he kind of looks like he is kind of gassed. And then he sits down for a minute, gets some treatment, and then wasn't quite the same after that. I think he was a little bit slower to the ball. Like not bad, it's just he didn't quite have that same zip. The Ronaldo Damas Collier up top was fairly interesting. I thought the Conway Damas 2 double strikers was the most interesting. Like I thought the end of the game when they got put the subs in, I thought they were really smart substitutes to come in. Camden Riley had a nice moment. Colin Martin had a beautiful pass. Yeah. And I think Conway and Damas were an interesting pair with Tumi Moshobani as well, to create a kind of a different look and a different energy. It was a little bit more defensive in the middle and more attacking up top. But I thought, it was a really smart lineup and smart substitutions to change the momentum of the game. But I guess if they don't come back and score the 2, then it's like, oh, the subs didn't really do anything. But they clearly did. Like I think Nick Moon had a great game. Like I think he was very attacking. He had some nice looks, but I think you're still missing that Charlie Adams. Like all of the free kicks, all of the corner kicks, all of the set pieces, they just don't look as crisp and as sharp without Charlie Adams. So
yeah,
I thought it was a fairly smart lineup and some fairly smart substitutes to kind of change and wrinkle at the end.
And excuse me, some of the play here, as you were mentioning, is good, and there was some fatigue. It seems you have Kyle Adams that's on jet lag time. I don't know how that works, and maybe get some insight from fellow Kiwi at some point. But something that we kind of both talked about was Blake Bodley, right? I think that we saw him get high praise from Nate very, very well, very deserved during that match. But I think a couple times here he was caught off guard, and even before this actual goal here, there was a chance before where it was the same play. There was that space that was just wide open, and I think either that's something that Phoenix was going after, and it's the same way that teams would go after Elijah, but they kept doing this. But you know, that's kind of where you live by the attacking presence of Blake Bodley, which was made apparent later on in the game, but also you kind of lose that defensive acumen that you have in a left back role, in a sense, or as left wing back. It's kind of like the opposite of Elijah, where Blake Bodley is really good on offense, but on defense, it seems like there's a little bit lacking. Elijah's really good in defense, and I think they're asking a little bit too much, or just want Elijah to be in a different gear at this point on offense. So there's no other solution than just smush them both together. Boys, thoughts on that?
No, I mean, yeah, I agree. I think Elijah Martin is better. I mean, he has told us that his natural position is right wing back. So he does prefer that, right? But, I mean, we've seen them most of the time in Loyal as a left back. I don't think they move away from the 3 center back line with the wing backs. I think that's really the style that Loyal has established already, and they probably won't move that around. So it depends on how much time Evie's out, if it's for the season officially.
Yeah.
We still technically don't know. You might want to look into maybe bringing another center back for depth in that position, because at the end of the day, you have Casancio, and then you have Camden Riley, who's can adapt to that position. I still think asking Elijah to play in that role is going to be a little too much down the line, but it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Like, it's already 2 road games, and you managed to get a point out of both of them. So back at home next week, but I don't know. I mean, we talked about it last week, right? Getting a tie against Phoenix over there would be essentially a good result for them.
I mean, I think there's a mistake in there, but there's also like a really, really, really nice played ball over the top.
100%. Yeah, definitely have to give credit to that.
And that's like one of the things that's like San Diego forced them to play this like route 1 long ball. Although one of the announcers kept calling it counterattacking. I'm like, that's not a counterattack.
That's not a counterattack.
And also, like, what are the other 3 center backs doing there, right? Like, I'm not sure that's 100% all on Blake Bodley. And this is what makes watching it on TV very difficult, right? Like, you would love to see what the defensive setup is like here at the point of attack, right? And so he puts it over the top, and you got your striker attacking, and like all 3 of your center backs are 5-10 yards maybe further up the field. And so that's also part of it too, is it's this really nice ball over the top. It's one of the Phoenix guys is keeping Adams more central to allow that space to exist. It's just a really nice play and really like perfectly executed. That, you know, if you can hit that once, you're going to get that goal. But we saw them try this multiple times and come up empty. And it was kind of against the run of play, right? It was San Diego felt like they were in control of this game for 30 minutes. And then all of a sudden, this is what makes Phoenix dangerous, is there's multiple ways they can beat you. And so they started to go to this long ball over the top. And, you know, maybe Blake takes like a center fielder, instead of taking the step back, he kind of freezes, and that gives him enough space to not be able to recover. So it's like, we're talking about a mistake of a couple feet, and then, but also like that was a crazy ass good ball over the top.
And excuse me.
Oh no, what's going on here? Jesus, the phlegm.
I like that you mentioned this play would have been perfect seeing it live, right? Because we don't get the camera angle where we can't really tell if Bodley is just a couple feet behind the center back line. Because if that's the case, then he made that winger be onside. Had he played the line, this guy could have probably been offside, but we don't really get that camera angle, so we can't really tell. If someone was at Phoenix and they can maybe tell us, that'd be great. But the end of the day, if you're in that position, yeah, I agree. It's what we call in Spanish, like the striker's está jalando marca. You know,
you're pulling the mark.
You're pulling the mark,
That's
and you've got the
the
center back there. But I wish we could have seen a different angle to see if Bodley was playing with the line, because essentially, if you're a defender, you have to play with your center back line. And that's on Kyle Adams. They're telling him, hey, like, you need to stay with us on that line.
So keeper perspective here, because at the end of the day, I need somebody to yell at because I got scored on. Got to put the blame somewhere, right? Never on me. So
Who do you put the blame on
100%
there?
a great ball, great vision, all the time in the world, lob through Rafa Marquez style over the top of everybody, a great over the top through ball. But at this point where the ball is, I don't know if you can see it necessarily. I can't have. You can see it right there. It's moving. It's dropping, but it's not necessarily pacey. So at that point, if you look at the dot of Blake Bodley on almost here, right there.
Yeah.
So he's, I would say flat-footed, because at this point you already know either way this ball is going over your head. You're not going to get that. So your positioning shouldn't be towards the ball at this side. You should be looking over your shoulder to make sure that there's nobody behind you. And if there is, or even if there isn't, you need to get to that ball first. So you should already be turned to it. Because if you're side crab walking, crab whatever, back pacing, it's not as fast as committing and going over for it, because then you can get a little bit closer to the attacker, maybe muscle him off the ball, get that yellow card, whatever it is. But he kind of misreads it.
Yeah, he timed it wrong.
It's bad timing on him, and that's something that a more seasoned defensive player doesn't necessarily commit. Like, and that's why I put a little bit more like on this. You mentioned that, yeah, there were a couple of times where Phoenix wasn't successful with that exact play, but I'll show you another one where it kind of did. Right? I mean, what do you think about that, Alan? Sir?
I mean, there's definitely things to fix. I just think, like we're talking about, we're not talking about like huge defensive letdowns. We're not talking about guys missing, like completely missing marks, right? Like we're talking about things that I think can be addressed in a single practice. Like, hey, we're going to practice lobs over the top and what we do, right? It feels very much like an outfielder learning an outfield position where they're just taking the wrong read on the ball. And instead of taking a step back and trying to be defensive on it and maybe letting a single, like the ball dropped in front of you, you're taking a step forward and it's going over your head and the guy is wheeling for, a multi-base, a double, a triple. And so I think that's just something that Blake Bodley is going to get better at. So I'm not sure, how much time he's getting in practice talking about some of these things. Because I think maybe they had just assumed Phoenix would try to possess the ball. And so they're like, well, we'll just keep the press up. And they were very successful. And then it forced Phoenix to do this ball over the top. And, it wasn't necessarily super successful for Phoenix, but all you need is it happen 1 out of 100 times and you have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it is something as a defender you can fix in one practice as long as you keep working on it, right? Because it is an easy fix as a defender where you gotta time the ball better, where you just gotta make sure your positioning is a little better. And it's early in the season. If he's adapting to this role, I think further down the line he can potentially be what Nate wants him to be in that role. So again, we can only talk about what we've seen so far, which is why we say, well, it's something to point out. It's a mistake. You got to fix it. We'll see if they fix it by next week.
Well, they couldn't fix it within the game because here in the 63rd minute, sorry, the same type of situation happens. It eventually leads to a goal, but it's interesting to kind of see this same setup where long ball all across the field. At this point, you can see Bodley, and again, this is not necessarily picking at his play, but it kind of is.
It's just something they exploited
just pointing
in this
out.
game.
Yeah, exactly.
And props to Phoenix for being able to do that.
And much like we can say the same thing about the lack of production offensively by Elijah, that it's maybe a little lacking, we would also do this in this sense. But unfortunately, this is kind of leading to goals where Elijah's lack of attack, I don't know if it's really stopping goals from going in because there's other avenues for that. But again, this ball goes all the way across the field. Another admittedly fantastic pass, great vision. And then slicing and dicing, let him walk, let him just watch him shoot. Koke parries the ball in the middle, right at the, poaching striker, puts it in, goal, 2-0.
Alan said offsides.
It was like super duper close. Like I watched it back and forth, and it was like, if I'm a Phoenix fan, I'm thinking he's on. If I'm a San Diego fan, I'm thinking he's off. If I'm a neutral, I'm arguing with people in the Twitter comments. You know what I mean? Like, and you would hope that Koke maybe does a little bit better job with that, but ultimately, like, you have these defenders, and there's just so much space. Like, you need to step to the guy, and he does a pretty good, like, I'm not sure which player that is. Like, he tries to like tackle the ball instead of just like closing down the shot. Like, I think he tries to do too much.
Yeah, so that's actually Adams? Kyle Adams. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Adams, and it's tricky, right? Because if you're Adams in that position, you see Bodley kind of trying to close in as well. So you say, okay, you got this, but then Bodley kind of slows down. So that forces Kyle Adams to now step up and just doesn't get there. And the thing is, if you slide, you can create a penalty as well. So it is unfortunate he's late. It's just miscommunication. Because you see Bodley ready to come at that, and he backtracks a little bit. Then Kyle Adams forces to step up, and it's a little late. You do want your goalkeeper to be able to maybe push that shot out.
Yeah, to the sides. Like, it's not a super powerful shot. And so the thing about these shots, too, is that the stronger the shot is, the bigger the ricochet will be, so more chances you can go. So it wasn't super powerful, where I think maybe Koke dove a little before and didn't have that pop to get it to the sides, but he just leaves it right there. The argument right there, as the shot happens there,
I think he's on.
It's super close.
Yeah.
It's close.
I think it's like you're fine either way. I think Stoneman's like, there's another angle from the other side, and I think Stoneman's trying to play him offside.
Mm-hmm.
And I think maybe it's just like he steps up like a millisecond too late. Like, and that's part of the problem too, is like by the time you look down at the shot, he's already past you and Stoneman stepped up. And so like, yeah, maybe not slide tackle, try to slide tackle, maybe try to block the shot. And this is like, that's a pretty hard goal to score. Like, he's reaching behind him. Like, props to him for getting that on target. That's not an easy.
You're a professional athlete. You get paid to do that shit. You better score that.
He missed the one earlier in the first half too. That
he pulled it wide.
Yeah, exactly. So you give and get. But yeah, so at this point it was like,
but okay, guys, just as much as we're sometimes a little negative when Loyal
not negative,
lose, not negative,
critical.
We also give props. They managed to make this comeback, and Colin Martin plays a beautiful ball, and this is where Bodley comes in clutch.
Yeah, 100%.
He excels in this position where he's very pacey. You get him that through ball, and he's gonna get you through.
Yeah, because Blake Bodley is like a left winger. He's not a wing back. He's like an offensive player that's trying to learn. He's like Nick Moon last year, right?
Exactly.
Like, Nick Moon has played some defense in the past.
Yeah.
But really, you're looking at him like a winger that plays a little bit of defense, because you got a 3-man back line, right? You don't need him to be the shutdown left back, but you want him to grow into a more defensive player. But you're right. Like, this is a great ball by Colin Martin. And like, this is what makes Loyal great is, you have 2 targets in the box, like almost like a 2-on-1, like that. That's the attacking prowess that we want to see with Loyal. And it's nice that we're starting to see that come together.
Yeah. And essentially it's kind of like the same play that you got scored on the first goal by Phoenix, right? It's a great pass past the defender. The defender got crapped on by Bodley. And it's just a powerful, like what we call tiro centro, right? It's a cross, but it could kind of be a shot. But yeah, Nick Moon just manages to tap it in. Overall, it's a great play that you probably practiced during training. This is a well-designed play by Nate Miller. And we know he draws those up for sure.
Yeah,
know it.
and again, much like Phoenix exploited maybe that window that they saw with Blake Bodley, so did San Diego Loyal in the same
On
way,
the
where
left
they
side of the
exploited
field,
that
yeah.
that left side of the field, the right side
On the right
defensively
side
for
defensive, yep.
Phoenix. For the second goal, and I mean off of a throw-in, beautiful. That you always love to see that, right? Something that starts out of the only use of hands available. Damus here just disposes of two Phoenix players that just gave up, like exhausted legs, tiredness, whatever you want to say, but like
He uses
like,
body very well.
he does, like,
Yes.
you know, Damus is really fast, but you know, at this point, like, geez, like, do something. Again, goalkeeper mind, I would yell at those two guys.
It's not the first time Damas was able to spin defenders, right?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is one of his classic moves. His quickness, his shiftiness, and his overall just like ability to. And what a strike! Like just breaks the back of the net with that powerful. Put the laces through the ball and just
Almost ends
Golazo.
Nick Moon's career though. Just
yeah.
boom.
But you want that grit from your striker, right? Saying, I'm going to get whatever I need to do to get my shot
way.
off.
You shouldn't have been in my way.
Like,
Sorry.
so you want this from your striker, and I'm really excited to see what you can,
I was like,
do.
no, they hurt each other that way.
No. Like I like this from Ronaldo, right? Because he didn't get that first shot in. He tries to get that second one, and then he does everything he can to get to the ball and take the shot off. Yeah, it's just unlucky for Phoenix, and it's very lucky also from Loyal. Cameron Bradley, props to the goalkeeper, just managing
in
to
there.
dive and hanging in there.
Hanging in there. But man, that next one, like
It's a silly goal.
It goes off the goalkeeper, off the defender,
Yeah.
into the corner of the net.
It's still a goal by Damus because the shot was on target.
a cavalcade of comedy in like this. This is just chaos and art at once.
Yeah.
Like you have this, you have the kid in the back that here. Let me move you out of the
yeah,
way
we
real
blocked
quick.
it.
Yeah.
You got
Please do.
you got
Yeah,
this
that
kid
kid.
just like pumped, like yes, defense, let's go.
No.
Oh.
San Diego Loyal.
And that's how you.
We need
That's
the
how you knew it
bubbles
went
like
across
that.
the line, right? You didn't need to know the. Just look at the kid go from super happy to like deflated, and that's like.
Oh man, but yeah. I mean, you managed the comeback and you tie it up and you salvage the point. And essentially, we talked about in the last episode where you get a point over there and it's good down the line because you got that tiebreaker against Phoenix for a potential playoff spot if it comes down to it. So you get Phoenix out of the way early again, just like last season. So positive, right? That's a good thing. You don't have to face them anymore.
I mean, yes, but also like these games have been some of the most entertaining and exciting and nail biting. Like it's a fun game, and I'm a little bit sad that it's over already. Like it's April and we don't get to see Phoenix again. But yeah, it's an important win. I think, preserving the draw was really important. I think like Koke comes up with two really big saves a little bit later in the match to really preserve the 2-2 draw right on I think it's on this set piece where, I think it's like a double save. He comes up with a really big save. They put it back in, or is it maybe just a save, but it's like, that's huge, right? Like Phoenix could have very easily won this 3-2. San Diego also had another look later on. I think that they were like inches away from being able to. I think Damas had a chance, and there was another one that Toomey just couldn't quite thread it through. And I think it's another 3-2 comeback victory from San Diego and Phoenix, right? Like this is what's exciting about this league. This is what's exciting about these two teams. Just two teams that are just going to go blow to blow, and no one's going to give up, and they're just going to beat the crap out of each other. And at least we get two of those games a season, right? It's not like, Liga MX where if you're only going to see the team once and you're only going to see them either home now or home later. Like we're a little bit spoiled to start our season this way. And it is huge to take 4 out of 6 points, which means Phoenix only gets 1 out of 6. That's huge to be able to do that against a good team. And it's, might come in handy later for a tiebreaker at some point, that now you have a tiebreaker over a team like Phoenix.
After 4 matches, after a couple years, 0-4, I think this is an improvement. I think in Nate Miller's first year, I think we can, say that the direction that this team is going is a positive one if they do commit to this style and, once it starts clicking, right? Like any team is going to take a little bit, especially in such a long season. So once these pieces start to really connect and click, I think there's potential for there to be just silky smooth play, and it's going to be lethal, and maybe not as many, festival of goals as we've seen, especially last year. But I think this play style is really going to suit the San Diego Loyal team well, and just eventually, I think it'll be really good for the team. You guys want to hear from Coach Nate?
Oh yeah, I'm down.
Alan doesn't. Still mad at him. Look at him.
It's about the process, and we're really trying to put the team together, and we're really proud of the way they fought back, and we're just really striving. It was really big to get that point on the road, and we're just putting the pieces together and try.
Did you hear what he said?
No, I'm just guessing.
Is that pretty much what he said?
Definitely not call that sealing a point. We felt like we could win that at the end multiple times. We just kept creating. I was really proud in the second half how we kept breaking their pressure, even when the environment was big. They were sending numbers forward. We kept building out of the back, finding our 10s, pulling them out of their shape, and that was really good. And just in general, I think the second half was exactly how we want to play, exactly what we want to do, and exactly how we want to approach away games.
So second half subs, what went into making those, and talk about the impact that they made.
Yeah, we went down 2-0 and we need to change some things. Look, I was actually really happy with how we pressed them and we're turning them over. We just weren't making the final play on the ball when they were when they played between the lines. So I just wanted some fresh legs in there with Cam for one. And Cam is a specialist in a lot of different areas, and he came through huge for us. And then Guido's legs were a little heavy. So we know if we found Toomey a lot behind their midfield dribbling forward, we'd have success. And yeah, there was just a gut feel, but also just moving some pieces around to make sure that we got behind them more.
Happy to get a road on the point, talk about the importance of, just these road points, even if it's just one.
Yeah, it's a point. I know people, see us come back from 2-0 and get a point, and it is positive just because the performance of the second half. But I still think our group even is a little disappointed. Like stoning these guys, they wanted 3. Nick was incredible in the second half, and I think we could have finished them off. But overall, coming here on their home opener, and then finishing the series with them and getting, winning that series. We want to win every series in the West, so it was important. And yeah, I saw a little bit of growth for our team today.
He's not wrong.
Lastly, looking forward to next match. Takeaways from this heading back home.
Yeah, well, we got to recover well because we have an Open Cup midweek and then Tulsa. So yeah, I think we were tested here against a good team in a hard environment. And so the biggest thing right now is recovery, is getting a little bit healthier. And then as the games get closer, just having a great mindset to keep fighting through a busy period.
Let's hope they don't pull that. Oh, we played 10 games in a certain amount of months or a month.
It'll come.
It'll come up.
It'll come.
Yeah, look, he's not wrong, right? Like I like that he said this is a game that we could have won and we should have won. But at the end of the day, it's a point. You win the series.
I mean, if you win the series in the West,
you're in good standing.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's a good kind of.
It's a positive way of looking at it.
Yeah, it's
which it is a good thing.
Good.
But he's not wrong. Recovery has to be key because you had 3 players out. You had Charlie Adams out. You have Ebi out, and then you have Adrian Perez also with a lower body injury.
Who the fuck knows where he is?
Like it was on the injury report and lower body injury, and they tend to.
So
hopefully it's nothing big because lower body injury could mean a sprained ankle,
sources,
a bruise, soreness,
sources.
Oh no, you and your sources.
So I don't know if you've, Alan. Sources have pointed to a possible situation with Captain Adams and knock injury that may be a little bit more serious than we thought in the beginning. Hopefully not along the same lines as Ebby, but hope all is well. But that's just kind of where we're at right now. I would love for the club to refute any of this or something to say, hey, no, it's everything's fine. But and we don't just throw sources like anymore, just because like some of those sources and sourced information that's come out of this garage recently is, has some heft to it. But yeah, so before, after the Open Cup, which we'll touch on a little bit, make sure you head over to Torero Stadium for the next Torero Stadium, literally spelled toe, Toe, Torero Stadium.
They really? Wow.
I hope there's a sock drive going on because that'd be
Torero.
really rad.
Alan, are we going to see you at Torero April 8th? Am I going to see you? Because you're not going to that game. Am I right?
I'm celebrating my girl's birthday over the weekend.
So, Alan,
Sorry.
will I see you at Torero Stadium?
That's 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah.
Man, I'm going to be
waiting on
hungover by
some
myself.
We're waiting on some confirmation on a few things.
Gotcha.
I have a friend in town, and we're going to be up in Riverside, but it might be in the evening, so I might be able to swing by the match and then just bounce right away and head up there.
The match
but
against
no, these
Tulsa,
are like
you don't miss much.
a couple things about what the team's been up to. Like, think about how well they played Sacramento, and Sacramento just went and dismantled
Louisville's
like,
5-5-0. Yeah.
Yeah, just destroyed them. So like that loss in retrospect looks a little bit better, like it's Sacramento's really good right now. And you beat Detroit City, you took 4 out of 6 against Phoenix. Like, this is a really nice start for San Diego. They're not, you'd like to see them win every game or win the games that they should win. Like, they probably should have won in Phoenix, but I think, taking a step back, you have to be kind of pleased as long as things continue to roll in a good way.
Yeah.
I think what makes the Open Cup so interesting is like there's not a ton of tape on Albion, right?
Yeah.
They're signing some
first
new
game.
players. They have a new coach. It's their first game. And so there's a lot of unknowns, which is a little bit scary going into that game where you can't really prep the way you want to, but if you're San Diego, you're like, we know how to play our game. We're going to play our game. And we know we have the players to be able to get something out of it. You definitely don't want to overlook them, right? You don't want to just be like, oh, we're just going to play a bunch of kids and whatever happens, happens. I think you have enough players that you can get something out of it. It's just going to be tough because you want to gear up for that 2:00 game at Tulsa, right? Like, it's not a night game. It's, several hours earlier against a pretty good Tulsa team. Like, they drew El Paso, they drew Pittsburgh. They beat a pretty solid Loudoun team. Like, people think Loudoun is bad, but Loudoun had some pretty nice moments early in the season. They had a really fun game against Birmingham where they lost, but it was really nice. It was a really fun one. So Tulsa's a pretty good team. They have some players on that team that are going to make this interesting, but they have a midweek on the road. Well, they're still in Tulsa, but they're on the road to play their Open Cup, and then they have to come out here after their Open Cup match. So San Diego does have a little bit of advantage this time after their Open Cup match, knowing that Tulsa has to come out here. And so they lose a day, right? Tulsa's going to lose a day. So you got Thursday to recover. You're flying on, you're probably traveling on Thursday, trying to recover on Thursday, and then you got one day and then you're playing. So I'm expecting San Diego to be able to advance in the Open Cup and be able to pick up 3 points against Tulsa at home. Weather depending, because it might be warm, and we know how Loyal perform during day games.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Wednesday we're looking at something along the lines where you start Camden Riley, you start Kasansu, you probably start Ferry on goal. We'll probably see some of the academy kid like Xavi, It's be cool if we get to see Adrian Perez healthy again and start in the starting lineup. He had a very good opening match, and then we really haven't been able to see him again. But then you also will probably see Colin Martin in the midfield. We'll probably see Toomey starting. So you still have solid players that can very much control and handle this game right against Albion. You don't know what to expect, but you are technically a better team and you should be able to win this game. On that back line, that I don't think there's gonna be many. Can there be many? Can we see Camden Riley as a center back and you give someone else? It'll be interesting. I think the defense is where we lack the depth this season. So hopefully, maybe bringing in someone else if Ebby's out for a large duration of the season.
And Elijah was carried off the field.
Yeah. So
on Saturday. So like, hopefully those were just cramps.
hopefully,
But
and
you're gonna, yeah.
and maybe if it's not, and you can bring someone, resorting to switching to a 4-back line where you can only use 2 center backs, and it's a lot of adapting. You don't want to do that, but it's still early in the season where if you have to, you can still manage it and change things around. But again, you do have to give players rest, because at the end of the day, it is the easier game against Albion than Tulsa on paper, right? Technically, quote unquote. On that Saturday, you do want to have your strongest lineup out there so you can get those points.
Yeah, I mean, like Conway and Toomey played 30 minutes, right? They're fine, right? You still have, Kazanzu came on a little bit later. And so you do have some guys that are first teamers that didn't play the full match and still have plenty in the tank. These injuries are starting to stack up a little bit,
very early
which
on.
is a concern, but you got your academy kids that you can kind of fill out and put in that are good, right? It's not like you're like, oh, these guys aren't very good.
And this
you
is
got,
a test.
Morgan Hackworth can still, run out there. Maybe you see him in one of the wingback roles, and Padres just walked it off.
Woo!
Get it.
Hooray. Hip, hip.
Dahl hit 1 home run to tie it up, and then Kim hit the next home run.
We don't talk about SDSU, Tony.
Padres walk it off.
Oh, that headline. UConn cruises to 5th. Oh, cruises. Oh, no.
Yeah, they cruise down Highland.
But you mean like you put Camden Riley as a defender, you put Grant Stoneman, Morgan Hackworth, and Kazanzu, like you still have a pretty solid back line. You have you have some midfielders to play around with, you have some attackers to play around with, and then you have some kids to sprinkle in maybe in the midfield and an attacking role.
And it's the beauty of this type of games, right? You start out like that, and if it's not working out, you throw in Guido, Ronaldo in the second half, and hope that they're able to turn things around quickly, which is essentially what we see with bigger teams in FA Cup matches and games like that, where they throw their good players essentially, or their starting players in the second half if needed.
If needed,
win, yeah.
I mean, last year they had to deploy Guido at the end of the second half to win. And Guido.
Who scored the winning goal? What's his name?
Xavier.
Oh, no.
No, he was from Xavier.
Yeah.
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 I just
that was my favorite moment of last season, where I winked at Guido before he put that corner kick in to win the game.
You better wink at whoever makes the other corners.
Come say happy birthday to Chiba that day. It's his birthday and he's gonna work.
Oh, on Wednesday? All right.
Yeah.
Please.
I'm gonna be coming straight from a meeting, so I'm gonna look like way more professional than I normally do. Well,
it's an open cup match, Alan. We wouldn't expect anything less.
By the way, just want to get this out of the way as well. We tried everything. We tried to stream this game for you guys. Like, we reached out to the club. I don't think I told you this, Alan. We reached out to the club and like, how could we get this done? Like, it's open cup. There's Wi-Fi. There is La Legion streams out of there. The facilities are there. We have the equipment. We can do it. We could stream San Diego versus San Diego to the masses, to the people, everybody who wants to see it. Because, again, maybe not everybody's going to be able to make it out to the sports deck or even be able to get tickets.
Doesn't it sit like 500 people?
Yeah, and, there's restrictions and stuff. Albion is selling tickets as well, but we tried to get this game streamed. We were told this is true. We have to buy the rights from U.S. Soccer. So,
how much are those rights?
Yeah, a couple $1,000.
Got a
in your
couple
pocket?
$1,000, just lying around, guys. Maybe next time,
GoFundMe? Can we do a GoFundMe by Wednesday?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, I think that's if next year this same situation presents
We'll do a
itself,
GoFundMe.
we will do a GoFundMe. We will try to get the streaming rights for that. But
People stream.
you're looking at the Spanish language commentary team for the San Diego Soccer, 16-time champion, back-to-back champs, going into for the 3P. I mean, we can just do it in Spanish, like
We could.
But that's kind of where we're at with that. We tried San Diego.
But yeah, they should.
Write to your local congressman about it.
You would hope Loyo are able to cruise by this Open Cup match, and head with the win to the 2 p.m. game on Saturday, which I might have to do alone.
No, you're going to do alone.
I'm going to
I'll
do
let you know.
alone.
No, you're going.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fine. You'll be
Can I
fine.
borrow y'all's credentials?
By the way, before we let you go, Alan, two things. Chelsea's winning the Champions League, so tomorrow's game is meaningless. We don't have a manager.
With what coach?
Well, that's
Who's
exactly. We
coaching?
don't have a. You watch out. The ghost of Nagelsmann is gonna come in.
Ham Plopper is going to be coaching.
But before that, I just want to reiterate how I don't know, Alan. I think this is one of your most interesting, just safe takes. Hands behind the ball. We've argued this a couple times.
Wait,
Where
do
are
you
gonna-
think that's a handball or
that
not?
is a handball?
That's
No.
not a handball.
That is a handball.
That's not a handball.
That is a handball.
Está
That's
pegado
not
al
a
cuerpo.
handball.
It's on his body,
But
bro.
no, but it hits the little chicken wing on the
It's
side.
his body,
It
dude.
hits
Yeah,
the
but he's
chicken
not
wing.
making himself unnaturally bigger. In
Yes,
an
it
unnatural
is.
Position.
Yes,
he's
it is.
trying to put his arms behind his back.
Trying.
Where's his arm?
Is
supposed
his
to go?
arm not
Trying.
stuck to his body right there? Like, are you kidding me?
His arm's next
look.
to his
Doesn't
body.
even hit his elbow. The
Yes, it
elbow's
does.
sticking out.
That's all it
That's the
hits.
forearm. That's the forearm. That's not the elbow. That hits his forearm.
So
It hits the corner.
No, it does
there was
not.
there was a debate we were having about defenders should have to put their arms behind their back in order to defend because anytime it hits your arm, it should be a handball. That was the statement that was made by several people.
Call him
one
out.
of them on the
Call him
podcast,
out.
not me.
Ricardo Campos.
Ricardo Campos said if it hits your arm, it should be handball.
Does that guy know anything about
And
soccer? I don't know.
Defenders should have to put their arms behind their back. But if you've ever tried to put your arms behind your back, they stick out to the side.
No, I mean, you
They
can.
stick out to the side, like naturally. If I put my arms behind my back, my elbow sticks out. Like that's where they go. And if I'm moving around, my arms are going to stick out to the side because that's how arms work. And so if you want to argue that you have to put your arms behind your back in a natural position, your elbows stick out. And so if you want to make that the rule, then you have to be okay with it hitting off your elbow. If you're not trying, and this is where I get into like the intent, right? Like if the intent is to not handle the ball, then it's not a handball. Like you're not, that person's not intending to handle the ball and they're not like leaving their arms out in some
Subjective.
weird angles.
I don't think that's a handball. I think his hands are behind his back. If that hit on there, then whatever. Like, terrible call. And you and Ricardo have a terrible take.
And so everyone points out, we're like, oh, well, Liverpool, you like Liverpool and they got a penalty in the Champions League against Tottenham. I was like, those are the rules then. Like, that's why they changed the rules because that rule was kind of dumb. But
Wait,
those
that's
are
right.
the rules then.
You're a Liverpool fan. I agree with Tony and Ricardo. Screw you, Alan. Yeah.
This didn't even involve Liverpool. Is my favorite part. I don't even remember
Had nothing
which
to do
teams
with
those
it.
were. It was like, yeah, handball's hard, right? Because it's people have arms and they go places when they're running.
It's up to refs' interpretations, unfortunately, and it's part of the game, and that's what we love about the game, the human error part of it, even with VAR involved, I guess. But we add computers to the game, and we still get it wrong. Amazing.
Yeah, dude. Let's give a computer system to the referee that did the Oakland Loyal game and put him in an NWSL game. Add thousands of dollars of VAR to him. See what
Probably
happens.
gets paid more.
What's crazy is you have a computer game or a game entirely on computers like FIFA, and they still get it wrong sometimes.
You want to know
Like, the ball
something?
goes weird ways.
They get it wrong with some things, but offsides, it's stupid accurate. It takes the fun out of it because it's always right.
Yeah, it
like,
does. And they show you now.
and they
like,
show
this
you now
close.
like this close.
You mother flowers. But yeah, I mean, Wednesday, we'll be
Yes.
there right after work as well.
Kick your ass in FIFA
Yeah.
too, Alan.
Alan, we'll see you there on Wednesday then.
You will.
All business casual. Business.
So I mean, to answer the question, do I support Albion?
Wow.
I'm wearing this today.
I do own an Albion kit. I do own an, but that I
Liverpool and
bought that
Albion?
prior to San Diego Loyal existing. So I do have it. It's nice. It's one of like the blue and white
Wear it
bars
tomorrow,
with the Primos.
Wednesday.
And I was like, yeah, I've got to support local soccer.
Yeah. I mean, true.
But I do hope Loyal win this match.
Somewhere in my closet, I have the San Diego Soccer City supporters group kits.
Oh wow!
Yeah, no, I was at SDSU. I signed the petition and everything. Like,
Wait, you were going to SCSU and you signed the Soccer City petition?
You didn't get kicked out?
He did.
oh, yeah. Eventually, I did.
another reason.
I got kicked out. Just how SDSU got kicked out of this tournament.
Whoa,
today.
that's petty. That's all right. Well, we're not welcomed anywhere near there. All right.
We'll be there on Wednesday.
All right.
Shit, we are.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we can't stream it, but Alan will stream you then. That was terrible. I'll see you then.
Later, Alan. Have a good night.
I love you.
See you soon.
All right. Bye.
It's the boy Alan.
Yeah. We already talked Soccers pre 2 balls Underwood. We had San Diego Wave in their. I want to point something out that you said before Alan joined, and you said this, and I saved it to right now.
No.
You're very hypocritical sometimes
Whoa.
because you said
That's an
Wave
attack.
2 wins already and solidifying themselves pretty much as potential title contenders. But Loyal won their first 2 games and they posted undefeated, and you went at them saying 2 games, okay. But you're doing the same thing for Wave right now. So which one is it, buddy?
Wave only has 11 opponents.
Which one is it, buddy?
There's only 11 opponents. There's only so much you can play.
Technically, Loyal do 2
Well,
on the Western Conference.
Yeah, but they have.
So it's the same thing. Positioning wise, making playoffs wise, it's the same thing. Because once you make playoffs, it's different.
Oh, it's like saying 1/8 is bigger than 3/4 because it has an 8 in it.
No. You essentially have 11 competitors in that Western Conference.
I'm right.
so
You're wrong. That's it.
You're big. I'm small.
Here, you're on timeout.
Oh, a minute.
Dude.
San Diego Wave play a match at Snapdragon. I'm gonna keep doing that.
That was dope. Yeah. So San Diego Wave won 3-1 against North Carolina Courage, and I agree with you though. At the same time, this is a solid win, and it's unfortunate that we couldn't make it out to this game. Because it was a fun one, right? Like you're eventually now 2-0, and yeah, you're right. It's 11 competitors in the whole league.
The whole league, the entire league, yeah.
And you win 3-1, and let's look at this lineup. Which, by the way, I don't understand the formation that they presented.
Yeah, so
they play with a 4-2-2-2.
like I don't know if they're doing a plotting chart where they're looking at find the median. Okay,
no wingers.
So you have Kaylin Sheridan over in goal.
Same backline.
Same backline. Naomi Girma. You have McNabb, Kaylee Reel, and Kristen Westfall.
Solid.
That's your go-to.
That's what got you into the playoffs.
Westfall
last
doesn't
season.
get spoken about enough. Like she's just very consistent, especially
She is. Consistent is the
moving
right
forward
word.
now. Like she's actually looking a little bit more dangerous.
And then they kind of get Girma on the left back. Like get her right.
Sure.
No, get it right. McNabb is the one that's been playing left back, and Girma's obviously the center back. So I don't know. CBS fix that shit. Paramount Plus, whoever it is. Like ESPN does the same shit when it comes to USL.
Yeah.
But then you have Kalaprico and Van Egmond again in like holding center mid position. Both of them combined, they did good last game as well. You have Taylor Korniak back in the starting lineup, which was key for the first goal, which was the traditional San Diego Wave goal, and which we'll get to talk about. And then you have Amira Ali, Jaden Shaw, and Alex Morgan again. And it's going to be a deadly trio up there when they keep starting. And you have to take advantage for as long as you have the Women's World Cup nearing already, and you're going to have some players gone. So take advantage of this trio right now. Oh, hey, you do things, and I don't say anything about you, okay?
You should.
Oh, wow. Oh,
So yeah, so there's
face.
this play right here. little scoop play, but you can tell that defensively, San Diego Wave is working on the kinks.
Mhm.
They are, also in the beginning of the season, they're working on, their defensive shape, and then again, I think also just making sure that they're getting some good game minutes with players that they have, but also have the philosophy down to where it's going to be a plug and play.
Yeah.
Where you have the shape, you have everything. It doesn't matter who's in that position. Obviously, you want Naomi Gurma. Obviously, you want Korniak. Obviously, you want Morgan. But if you don't have that, you're still going to be successful because the team overall is going to be better than the team on the other side of the opponents. But eventually, it's 0-0, and the high press works. That mistake, waiting for that mistake.
It's a mistake, defensive mistake that Jaden Shaw just gets it. But she's so good at doing this, right? Just taking players one-on-one, and she's able to cut in and create that small space, that window of opportunity to take the shot off. That goalkeeper does a great save. She doesn't block that, and it's
100%.
go. Va a ser un golazo. But just how quick she is and smart with the ball at 18 years old. She's literally a generational talent when it comes to the women's game. She's gonna be great. 18, you're able to play around with defenders like that and get shots off, and you're able to shoot with your left and your right.
So I was actually thinking about this, 12 teams.
Mm-hmm.
The game is growing.
Yes.
Naomi Gurma's huge. Jaden Shaw is going to be the next big thing.
Mm-hmm.
One of the next big things, because
Yeah.
there's just so much talent that's
Mm-hmm.
blossoming in this sport. But I remember all the hubbub, all the oh my god, oh my this, when Neymar came out, right?
Yeah.
He was young. He was like, oh my god, this kid is coming out of Santos and this and this and that.
Going to Barcelona.
And there's just so much talk around the amount of talent that this individual possesses.
Mm-hmm.
And he was playing professionally against adults, against men, viejos in Brazil. But it was like, oh, the real test is going to be here. An 18-year-old is doing the things that they're doing, and I don't feel like it's not getting that recognition that it deserves.
Yeah.
Because again, this is somebody who just came out recently into the professional game, right?
Mm-hmm.
The adjustments you have to make, the game speed. And I think the game speed might be a little bit more comparable to what you might face in college and high level play at the club level. But this move that you're going to see, it's a better angle, is really just subtle. And it's like, oh, that's not the greatest thing. And but going this way, just to make sure that you're sending two people that way.
Essentially what you're doing, you're cutting back in when you already made them go flat-footed and facing straight. They're no longer in a side position. So it literally cuts back in. She knows she's going to have the space now.
Look at how parallel those two players, number 10, are.
Yeah.
And the defender that's facing Gurma. The ball is heading that way. You can already see the defender, the left center back, starting to go to Shaw's right. And then just effortlessly, just bring it on back. And just with that, and that's the move, not only to take care of that defender and the partner next to him, and this person, the player to the right is just watching at this point. The only one that knows what's happening is the one that's right behind Shaw. But Shaw uses that one move not only to take care of the defenders, but to place herself in perfila.
Yeah.
What is that in English? Just to set herself for the shot. So it's a setup, it's a move, it's a dribble, it's everything at once. It's so simple. It really is so simple, but it's these little things that
and it's
world-class players you see and make it look easy.
And it's everything, exactly. And she's doing it at 18, right? She's literally toying with defenders right now. And essentially she gets her goal. You okay there?
Yeah, no.
A little frustrated?
Yeah, I just keep pressing the wrong button.
So then we have this play. I mean, compared to what the highlights were for Wave, Courage didn't have much. But let's get to the first goal, right? Where it comes off a long ball from Kaylin Sheridan. And this is why you have Taylor Cornier.
Kaylin Sheridan.
You have Taylor Cornier for her height, essentially playing as a 10, even higher up. And she just has to flick the ball.
Yep.
La tienes que peinar. and you set Jana Shaw up for a nice goal. That's all you. That's literally what they've trained.
The
Last season.
San Diego Wave special is what that is Sheridan to Korniak to whoever's up front. Morgan's there. Sometimes Amira if he goes over to the side. Sometimes it's Sophia if he goes to the other side. Sometimes it's right bang down the middle. Sometimes it goes to absolutely no one.
It's one of those where you know what they're gonna do and you can't stop it.
Because what do you do? What do you and I think that's what
unless you have someone taller than Korniak that can just mark her one-on-one the whole game, that's gonna be very hard to stop.
Exactly, and so that's a weapon that San Diego Wave have utilized. Good to see her get out there, and you know what? Like that's the argument by having her in the midfield as opposed to a center forward or a more attacking role is you don't have that element in the midfield where you can get you can get ahead or behind a player just with the flick of the head because. You already know she's winning the header. It's just a matter of making sure that she directs it the right way and you're making that diagonal run or straight run. And if you do that more times than not, you're going to be successful.
Yeah, and then we had the first VAR call going in favor of Wave this season.
Yes, because the other one went against. There was another call, and then that one did go against.
Yeah. So, but before that, you had Alex Morgan scoring.
Not a penalty.
Not of a penalty, so he can't say Penalex right now.
Not Penalex until later.
But it's the high press, right? Like you intercept the ball, you set Alex Morgan up, and when she's in the box, even if it's against 4 defenders, she's most likely going to cause damage, get at least a corner kick. The shot's going to go on target for sure.
Calaprico is the one that is the one that steps up in that position.
And this is why you brought her on, right?
Yeah,
like this is essentially what you wanted out of her.
So you clearly see exactly when she reads the play. She knows exactly what's about to happen. And so she makes that sprint. So you have the play right here. Good high press.
Yep.
There's no real outlets except for the one player there who has no idea that you're coming over.
You forced this mistake.
Yeah, Calaprico's just zipping down right there.
And as a coach, Casey Stoney's happy about this goal because you eventually forced the mistake, which is what the game is all about.
And not only that, is being able to control the ball and then coolly, calmly connect it in two touches.
She got help off of a little deflection on the shot, but at the end of the day.
No, but what I'm talking about is Calaprico.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's just 2 touches. One to get the ball and set herself up on the dribble, and the next one is a pass. There you go. But yeah, so Morgan gets it. A little bit of a fortunate deflection there, but with the right, Alex Morgan making it happen.
Yeah, and it's a great team goal, right? You force the mistake. Calaprico, like you said, gets the ball, passes it to Alex Morgan, and you just let her handle it, and she did. So you go up 2-0, and then you go up 3-0 off a penalty call with the VAR, which was a handball. I know you're not a fan of VAR, Tony, but like sometimes they get it right. ¿No crees?
I mean, sure.
Like tiene el brazo. I mean, it's not behind the back. It's not
okay, Alan.
glued to the body. Like the hand is out.
Yeah, so it comes off of Korniak and then it bounces, it ricochets back, and you have the shot right there. Yeah, it's not against the body.
You could have argued there was a handball by Korniak.
True.
It looked like it.
It looked like it, but I think it was just the side.
Yeah, exactly.
The Morgan La Estrella just hits the post right there, but eventually it does get called a penalty. VAR is called. This referee looks like, he owns a couple of vases and likes floral arrangements. Really cool dude. I like flower arrangements. Checking the VAR.
Flowers hit up Papi Chavo.
I'm actually interested. Oh, okay, that's where VAR is. It's where we weren't supposed to be on the first game. We walked.
Gotcha. Normally, he's like right behind the benches.
True.
So eventually, you get the penalty,
beep,
and Alex
Rosie
Morgan,
cheek, beep.
9.5 times out of 10 is going to score this penalty.
So then it's like, all right, is she going to do it in the same place? Is she going to shoot it somewhere else? Is she going to hit it off the ground hard? Like what's it going to be? With the left, she prepares herself. She does what she's doing. The scouting report said to the right. You go to the right. But even then, look at where the ball hits. If you want to know the measure of a good penalty, it hits the side net first.
Ding, ding, ding. Ah, man, I want her to do a Panenka.
to win the championship.
Like, imagine. Nobody would expect. No goalkeeper
That's
would
such a good
expect that.
penalty.
It is. It is. But I mean, yeah, don't change your penalty style if you're not missing, right? So, but how cool would it be just to see her do a Panenka, like, for the fuck in the Challenge Cup? Fuck it, like. But essentially, North Carolina also got a penalty, and Caitlin Sheridan se venció. Like,
Yeah, it chose the wrong side. Like, it's just there's nothing you can do. Like,
she saw it. Like, she
Yeah.
dove a little too early.
yeah, she was
and
already made her
she
mind
got figured
up.
out, and she's like, shit, I fucked up. I think she will tell you, like, I messed up in that one. But at the end of the day, you're up 3-0 already, close to the 80th minute. So in a way, you're very much in a winning situation already. So
Yes, sir.
2-0, along with Portland Thorns. Portland Thorns obviously have a higher goal differential with 8 goals in favor, 1 against. Where Wave have 6 in favor, 3 away against. And their next game is Saturday, April 15th, not here in San Diego. It's against Reign, which is going to be a fun one. Reign, 1 win, 1 loss in the season. It's going to be fun to see them play in their first road game of the season. Like, let's see what they can do away from home, right? Obviously, they're kind of starting to set the tone at Snapdragon. So you want to see what they can do away. And then after that, they have a Challenge Cup match that we'll talk about next week as
So
well.
Challenge Cup now happening within the season.
Which I got told that that's the way it's supposed to be. But last year, because of COVID and all that, it got played as a preseason tournament. But supposedly Challenge Cup has always been intentional about having it throughout the season as well. So we'll see how serious they take that. It is going to be the first game against Portland Thorns. So not an easy test for your first group stage match in the Challenge Cup. But away match for Wave is going to be the first one. What do you think? Do you think we'll see them be successful, dominate?
I mean, it's a real test again because you got to start thinking about the health and the fitness of players. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what the lineup looks like, if they go all gung ho. If you want to save some legs, again, you need to preserve your players because you want to make sure that they go into these international games healthy with legs and not get, just tired halfway through the tournament.
Luckily for them is they play away, but then they come back. They play on that Wednesday against Portland Thorn here at Snapdragon. And then on that same Sunday, I believe, of the week, the 23rd, they don't travel very far to play Angel City. They just have to drive up 2 hours, which is not a heavy traveling schedule. Yeah. So, and then they come back April 29th for a home match. So, month of April, really not much to travel, which I think that should be a good thing for the team, essentially.
I agree with you there.
Yeah,
So
San Diego Wave.
that's what we got. Again, hopefully we'll have Jack Metcalf in studio tomorrow.
Yeah.
The more I think about it, the more I hope he responds. I sent him my address. I did tell him, hey, by the way, I think it's fair to say
It's a garage.
it's a garage. It's not a fancy studio. It's a literal garage.
Casual.
So
Come in a tracksuit, bro.
hopefully that will turn into something special and something fun.
Just to add on real quick, Desmadre in the Liga MX this weekend. Just to throw it out there, like everything happened. This if you haven't kept up with Liga MX, let me just tell you, look up what happened this weekend. This went global. You had the referee kneeling a player in the groin area. Le soltó un rodillazo, güey. Like, yeah, he got too close, but there's no way the ref should do that.
Don't get near me. He was just taking a natural step.
The player should have taken the red card
He
from
was
the
just
ref
taking,
and just.
what do you do, right? Like, what do you do? You get another referee to give that referee a red card? Like,
No,
what do you do?
don't. I think he's under investigation now. So,
What is it to investigate? Look, that's it.
he kicked him.
Move out of the way.
Le dio un rodillazo.
What are
güey.
you doing in his face? What are you doing?
He
touching him?
has his hands behind his back and he's talking to the referee.
Don't get too close.
Come on.
He's walking. That's the official.
Come
You're putting yourself in a
on.
position.
Come on.
You're putting yourself in a position. I'm sorry. And then, come on now. You didn't even touch him. Like, again, who are you simulating for?
It's unprofessional.
Who are you simulating for?
For the league to fire this guy. But yeah, no, that's madre. You had the coaches almost getting in a fight, essentially, and you had the the America coach sending the Leon coach like, all right, meet me in the tunnel, bro. Like, let's get it. Yeah, Alexis Vega celebrating with a beer, drinking it, and then just maybe it wasn't beer. Everything happened this weekend in Liga MX. It's a tight title race for the Liguilla, and it's always fun to watch Liga MX. The standings from 7th place, you're essentially 3 points or 4 points away from 2nd place, which is crazy. Like Chivas are 3 points away from going from 6th to 2nd place.
Oh wow.
So, yeah, Liga MX is always wild like that. Anyone still has a chance except for Mazatlan to make the repechaje, which essentially is the
Wild card.
Wild card. So, fun stuff happening in this side of soccer.
Absolutely. So I think other than that, I mean, talked about it a little bit, but Chelsea are winning the Champions League. Chelsea,
With a brand new coach.
absolutely. So
You're happy about that, right?
yeah,
Nice.
that's how it usually goes. We fire somebody and then they win the Champions League.
Yeah, we'll talk next week. We'll talk a lot more Europeans. Came back from international break, but
I'm not European.
I'm not European either.
No, I'm not European.
What?
I'm not European.
Okay.
You're a peeing. European.
European.
Thank you for
So
joining
funny.
us. 2 Balls and a Mic. Again, the only thing that we ask, please subscribe. YouTube.
Subscribe.
Tell somebody. Be a friend. Tell a friend. We're going to be having some San Diego Loyal stuff confirmed already from the team to be given away very soon here. Check us out. Say happy birthday to Chiva if you see him on Wednesday. With that said,
See.
I'm going to go check out what this helicopter above my house is saying. So,
Later, guys.
bye.